This is Toledo Symphony Lab, a behind-the-scenes look at the world of classical music from WGTE Public Media and your Toledo Symphony. I'm Brad Cresswell. Joining me today in the studio are the Toledo Symphony's president and CEO, Zach Vassar. We also have principal second violin and artistic administrator, Merwin Sue. And on the phone, we have our music director, Elaine Trudell. Well, Thanksgiving is over, my friends, so it's time for...
Easter?
Time for a little Christmas. A little Christmas. It's not too early for Christmas. This isn't really our Christmas episode, per se, but it is pointing in the direction of Christmas today. That is because Christmas at the Peristyle. That's happening very, very soon. We're going to talk about that concert. You can catch the live stream at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. That'll be at stream.artstoledo.com. And Zach, tell me, will this be available then afterward?
This will be available through the Christmas season.
Perfect. I'm feeling in a Christmas mood already.
It's because of the music in the background, I think.
Yeah. Well, Merwin, we haven't had you here in a while, so first of all, a little applause. Glad to have you back in the studio.
It's great to be back. Everything seems so different. You have a new soundboard.
It's changed. I have a new soundboard. Now, when you say a new soundboard, you mean the actual board that's in the studio. Because my soundboard, I have a few new sounds here that we're going to try out today. But everything is new.
I'm just mesmerized by all of the colored lights. So,
colored lights. I see green, I see red. So we're in the Christmas mood.
Absolutely.
Speaking of a Christmas mood, why don't you give us a little bit of a rundown on this concert? This is something that's been a tradition, right, at the Symphony for some time. Christmas at the Peristyle. What can people who tune in and stream the concert expect?
You know, I think in these times, we're always looking for some familiarity. And I think we've really kind of gone to the well of old familiar favorites. So people will hear selections from the Nutcracker, one of my favorite carols, Carol of the Bells, Sing We Now of Christmas, some selections from Greensleeves, Leroy Anderson's Amazing Christmas Festival, which has, I think, all of the great carols in it. I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Let It Snow. So these are the things that you play when you're putting up the Christmas tree, and these are the songs that are kind of the soundtrack of your holidays.
Well, I can imagine this is, the concert certainly lasts through the holiday season. As you said, Zach, it'll be streamed, so this is a great way to, gather around the fireplace, as it were, and listen to some great music and get in the mood.
Indeed.
For Christmas.
I just love all the photographs I get of people watching our programs from their living rooms, and you always see the fire in the background. You see an animal curled up, around the footstool, usually a warm beverage nearby, and this seems to be a great soundtrack for all of that activity.
Merwin, you mentioned Carol of the Bells, and for some weird, completely random reason, I just remembered that I used to have a friend named Carol Bell, right? Huh. But I never made that connection before. Well, Christmas names.
This is we should have a quiz all about Christmas names.
Yeah, well, we will have a quiz. Friends. We're going to have a quiz in a little bit here. We're going to have a Santa Claus quiz because...
Never heard of him.
The traditional guest at Christmas at the Peristyle is Santa Claus, makes an appearance. Is he going to show up this year?
Santa will show.
Yes. Yeah, very
Seriously?
glad. Very glad to hear that.
Now I know where to go.
That's right. It's not the same as Mother Ginger, Zach.
You can call me whatever you want there, Bert.
In case you had any ideas about dressing up for Christmas. Well, I have that Santa quiz. I'm going to push that off a little bit. But first of all, I want to play a game which I call Wheel of Christmas Fortune, right? We've done this Wheel of Fortune thing in the past. We spin the wheel, grab a question. I ask you the question, you answer it. We're going to start with Elaine because he's on the phone with us, and let me see if I can find the proper, here we go.
Spin that. Sleigh bells on the wheel.
Sleigh bells. It's like Mahler 4.
Exactly, just so like Mahler 4. Okay, Elaine, here's your question. Hello. Elaine, are you ready? Here's your question. Have you been good? Have you been good or bad this year and why?
That's the quiz question for Alain. Mine's going to be like, name all of the 7 dwarves. He gets to answer a yes or no question.
This isn't a quiz. This is a an information.
An information, yeah?
Yeah, kind of
so, Alain,
query.
We are listening. Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, so Alain, have you been good or bad this year, and why? First of all, tell us if you've been good or bad.
Well, first of all, before I answer your question, I'd like to point out that in our Christmas concert, we've talked about Santa. We're one of the very, very few orchestras to have the real Santa with us. So it's absolutely Santa Claus, the real Santa Claus, who's coming with us for our concert. So make sure you don't miss him. He's the real deal. He's Santa. So and I wouldn't lie to you. You know that, right?
Well, you're a little bit.
To answer your question.
Yeah. Okay. Have you been good or bad this year, and why?
I've been very, very good.
Oh,
I told you this is a quiz.
No, you've been very, very good. Why have you been good?
I've been good. That's. I didn't know there was a follow-up. Okay. Well,
gotta back it up.
I've cared about my neighbors, my friends, my family. I try to be generally a good person with people. I mean, I don't always succeed, but I try. I think it's all in the trying that counts.
Yeah.
And the sincerity of the way your demeanor with others. So that's I don't think we always have the result we want because we are human. But I think if we're sincere, this is very important.
Well, tell me one good deed that you did this year.
One good deed. Well, I can have. People don't go. I don't like to talk about my good deeds, but I can tell you one. Whenever I go in front of the music store, well, actually, if I'm wherever I am, be in Toledo, at home in Toledo, at home in Montreal. Whenever I see somebody who's like asking for money or something like that, I ask them why, of course, and they tell me, if I want to eat something. I don't really fall for the, well, I'm going to be really honest with you, it's to drink, and then I give them money. I don't do that. But that approach doesn't really work with me. So if they're hungry for something, I just usually go and buy them something to eat. And I usually get what they want. Like there's a pizza place next to the big music store in Montreal, and they say, I want pizza, and I go and get them for them. And they say, yeah, but I don't want this on it. I want that and that. They get specific, and I just do it. I just do what they. When I think it's the least we can do for people who are less fortunate than us. Everybody should be able to eat.
Yeah.
And I also donated to a WGTE. That's a good thing. I think everybody should do that good deed. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, Alain, by the way, I'm feeling a little hungry right now. I may need to borrow some money. Or you can take me to the pizza joint next time.
You just tell me where.
Okay. Good deal. All right, let's go to Merwin and let's spin that wheel and see what we get. Let's grab a random question here. Okay.
How random is this question?
They're all random. This is a good one for you. What's your favorite Christmas song and why?
Ooh.
Your favorite Christmas song?
I'm going to go with Hark the Herald Angels Sing.
Okay. That's a good one.
It's right up, I think it's between O Come All Ye Faithful and Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And I'm going to go with the one that has more of a Mendelssohn tie. So,
okay.
Hark the Herald Angels Sing.
Is there a specific reason why?
I really love playing it. It's so joyous. I think it's one carol that we are playing pretty much every single concert, and it's one of them that I just don't get tired of at all. I also feel like I don't miss the words when I'm playing it on the violin, and I think that's something that, like, some of the carols you really miss the words, and this one's not one of them.
All right, let's bring in our next spin here. See what we got. This goes to you, Zach. Have you put up your Christmas tree yet?
Yes, we put it up right after Thanksgiving this year because we were afraid that if we waited too long, it would be one of those things that we were going out to get the Charlie Brown Christmas tree on the 23rd of December. So
that's what I'm going to do.
We avoided that temptation, and this is our first Christmas in a house we moved into a couple years ago, and it's really fun to decorate it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next question. This goes to Elaine again. We're skipping me because I'm the question reader, right? Elaine, what's your favorite Christmas movie? What's your favorite Christmas movie, and why do you like it?
Oh, it's Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah.
Great music in that movie.
I was just going to say that. It's a great score.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it, and I love Christmas. I love Christmas music. I love Christmas movies, but that one is my favorite. Yeah. And it talks a lot about faith, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And believing in the season.
Kind of an undertone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. We're zipping right through these here. Let me see what we got up next. All right, Merwin, what's on your Santa list this year? Meaning, what are you asking for Christmas this year? If Santa were right here, what would you say to him?
Well, I have this one book that there's a writer named Ali Brosh, and she has a new book out that I haven't had the chance to actually get. So that's definitely one item on my list. And this is a really weird thing to say, but so I was recently purchasing a car, and the car salesman had these amazing shoes on. And I actually asked him, where did you get those shoes? Those shoes are on my Christmas list.
He didn't offer to sell you the shoes off his feet as, an upcharge on the car?
I'll throw in the shoes.
Throw in the shoes, throw in some floor mats, something like that.
Shoes kind of are like floor mats for your feet. Yeah,
exactly.
What color were they? I mean, were they just regular black shoes, or what kind of shoes?
Flip-flops.
They were, but they had this really kind of great hybrid between the sneaker and the dress shoe that I've never seen before.
Okay, interesting. All right, let's bring one up for Zach. Grab a random one here. Oh, this is a nice one. This one, I may need to bring in a little music for this one. Here we go. There we go. All right, Zach, what is your favorite Christmas memory as a child growing up?
I hope I haven't told this story, but it was a couple of years ago when Nintendos were becoming big, and every child in the universe was getting a Nintendo game system from Santa Claus. That year, though, I had done something wrong, I think, because Santa brought me a bowling ball with my name on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember this. I think you told this story
in
the past, but that's okay.
That was my my most humbling Christmas. But you got to remember, I got 8 siblings, so coming together at Christmas time was just a hilarious and loud event. But I just have great nostalgia for that house being full of all my siblings and my parents, and my grandmother would come up from Mansfield. We would just have a wonderful holiday. And I don't know how my parents did it. I looked at how challenging it is to have Christmas for a family of 4, and they would do it for a family of 11. And it was always special.
Wonderful. I think this is one of those questions that it'd be worthwhile to have everybody answer it. Merwin, you have any favorite memories growing up, Christmas memories?
Wow, that's a really tough one. I think I have one that's when we were a little bit older, and we were all on a trip to Australia, and we didn't have a chance to have a giant Christmas tree or anything. So inside our camper van, we decorated a giant green onion. And to me, that's something that this wasn't when we were 6 years old or anything. It was so we weren't missing the tree. It was just an amazing chance to spend time with family in Australia. And, it was just such a different thing. I mean, I grew up in Edmonton, Alberta, and, being in Sydney, Australia is pretty much the exact opposite weather-wise of what we were expecting. So it kind of felt appropriate.
Yeah.
Green onion Christmas tree.
What song do you sing to the green onion? Is it? It's not O Tannenbaum. What would it be?
The Lady of Shalott?
Something like that. Yeah. There you go.
It doesn't really matter if you're going to cry. You're going to cry at each song.
It's true.
Alain, instead of asking you about a favorite childhood memory, I'm just going to give one more. Let me give one more spin of the wheel here. Okay. Because you're up in Canada, and Merwin is from Canada originally also. Maybe traditions are a little bit different there. I don't know. But my question is...
We made a snowman this morning before school.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had some snow coming down recently, but I don't think that it stayed. So we'll see what happens for Christmas.
It all came down yesterday.
Yeah. Here's a question for you. What is a traditional Christmas meal for you up there in Canada? And this doesn't count like taking homeless people to the pizza joint, right?
Yeah.
You come up with something a little more traditional for you.
I guess it must be the same as for you. We have. There's something that might be different. It's tourtière, which is you call meat pie, I think.
Yeah.
But 6-layer meat pie with different like game kind of how do you say game meat?
Yeah.
And that's from a region that's called Saguenay here. And we have ragu. Do you have ragu from the? It's ragu. It's called ragu of pig's feet, but it's not made out of pig's feet.
Wow.
It's just the way they call it.
Goes great with green onions, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean basically, I think it's that burger thing in Las Vegas. What they call heart attack burger or something like that.
Yeah.
I think our Christmas meals are pretty much heart attack Christmas meal here. It's a lot of like the ragu of the and then we have that tourtière, which is very tall. It's six not floors, but 6 different steps of different meat. Not everybody has that here, but that it's something that's traditional from Quebec. And of course the log. You have that, I'm sure, the Christmas log, the New Year's log. Some of it sometimes is frozen, sometimes not. And and the rest is just more meat, I guess.
Actually, I don't know about the Christmas log.
The Christmas log?
Really?
I don't know.
That's a dessert, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it ice cream or cake? What is it?
A rolled cake,
Okay.
That's made, so that's why it's made like a log, because here was there's a big lumberjack tradition until if you go to Montreal, you won't see lumberjack. You'll see a lot of urban lumberjack, but that doesn't count. It's just a fact. But you will see that they're very easy to recognize. Behind the beard, under the beard, there's no hair. Okay, but in the tradition, until I don't know, even 50 years ago, my grandfather was a lumberjack. He worked on getting some forest, opening ways and routes in the forest up north. And that's why the log is very something that's symbolic over here during Christmas time, especially because that would be the time that they come back. And there's a big story about the 6 lumberjacks selling their soul to the devil to be home with their families on a flying canoe. I don't know if you know that story, but one day I can tell you if you want.
Can't say
This is
I've
now
heard
going
it.
to be an opera. This would be the greatest opera ever, and I want to write it.
Yay!
I'm telling you the reason
flying
that the canoe.
canoe.
I mean, it's a little bit like the soldier's tale. When they come back, they can't look back, and if they look back. Then anyway, and the canoe just hit the cross of the church, and that's how they fell. Anyway, it's a bunch of symbolism in it. Anyway, so the log, you can have it either some kind of chocolate cake like a roll, or you can have it as an ice cream cake, also made as a log with chocolate inside. So it's like quite tasty. After you're done with the meat pie and the turkey and the chicken and the bread and and the ragu, then you have a little bit of that, and then you sleep, and then you wake up. It's the next year.
And you start all over, right? So Merwin, did that answer your question? about the Christmas
it
log?
Totally did, and now I have all these new ideas.
Flying canoes and
everything, like singing lumberjacks.
It's fantastic.
It's like Orpheus and Eurydice all over again.
Meets Monty Python.
It's perfect.
Rather.
So it's a little different this year, obviously. Everybody is advised to stay at home, stay in small gatherings, not to travel, that sort of thing. Do you want to talk a little bit about what your plans are for Christmas with your kids? I mean, you've got families. I know your daughter, Zach, had a birthday not long ago.
Yeah, so my daughter Grace is 6 now, which is amazing. She got quite a haul for her birthday, which is just before Thanksgiving. But already she's focusing on what she didn't get for her birthday that she wants for Christmas.
Nice.
But yeah, it'll be a little different this year. As I said, this is the first holiday in our home, and we're gonna have some fun with that to make some new traditions, put up some new decorations. And make this kind of a fun and celebratory holiday. We have a lot of fun little activities planned. My daughter's going to be home from school. She's a kindergartner, so it's the first time we've really had to think about Christmas break, and she thinks that's such a fantastic idea, having 2 weeks home. So we'll have some fun. I'm looking forward to it. I think this is a year where we've had all of our share of anxieties and uncertainties, and I'm really just trying to use the holiday as a way to provide some escape from all of that and create some memories that we'll take into 2021.
Yeah. Merwin, are you going to sit around the television with your family and watch the Christmas at the Peristyle concert?
From talking with Kimberly, I think we're going to be doing a lot of baking.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of baking plans.
Mm-hmm.
So,
your
I'm
wife, Kimberly, we should mention.
Yes. So it seems like, and Kai's actually, Matthias is 3, so not quite at the age where he's a very good helper in the kitchen, but Kai very much he will be involved in all of this.
Yeah.
So he's 8, and he's definitely at the age where like helping out in the kitchen is something that he's going to be actually helpful.
Well,
so
part of the fun is letting the kids behind the scenes a little bit and getting them involved in some of the preparations.
Yes, we're having him deep fry the turkey. I can't imagine anything will go wrong.
Nice. Oh, that's not what I meant. There we go.
Wow.
Oops, I did it again. Still getting used to the new soundboard.
How about you, Brad? I mean, what does your holiday look like this year?
I'm gonna lock myself up in my room
again. So like normal.
Yeah, basically normal. They'll put me in a straitjacket.
You still get coal at the end of this, though. That behavior doesn't prevent you from getting the
pretty
coal.
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Elaine, you have any special plans?
Oh, it's complicated because of the virus, of course. But I have 5 kids and 2 grandkids, so it's gonna try to see them. But the grandkids live in a zone that's outside the zone here, so we can't travel there right now. So it's kind of up in the air. It's all about being flexible and sending love through the internet ways, I guess. But we're really hoping. Here we have an overture between the 27th and the 30th that we can gather. The rest of the time before and after, and we're closing the schools earlier and opening the schools later. Closing the schools earlier so that people can kind of self-quarantine to make sure they don't, little kids that have no symptoms don't give it to their grandparents.
Yeah.
So we take 2 weeks at home before. So hopefully we can get something going. But normally, since the last 3 years, we've been doing it at my older daughter, because she's the one with the 2 kids. So, I remember. It's funny. I remember, but I also have a kid now. But I remember when they were young, and it's so much easier when people come to you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my gift this year was to actually try to cater Christmas as a, well, not a surprise, but something that you would have nothing to do, but at the same time, it's so personal. You don't want to, it's something you have to talk about because sometimes the road to hell is paved of good intentions, right? So we're going to talk about that. But the idea is to try to see if we can all get together, maybe in two batches or in one. But we'll see. We'll just follow what the security is because it doesn't mean anything if you have a great day at Christmas and then everybody's sick for a month after, right?
Yeah, totally. Well, we have a little bit of time left, and I want to do some of the questions for my Santa Claus quiz because, as we mentioned, Santa is making a big appearance at Christmas at the Peristyle. This is a Santa quiz. I'm going to pull up a little music here. Okay, get that going. Let's see. Now, we all know that Santa was based on a real person, right? He was based on a 3rd century monk named Saint Nicholas. That's where we get Saint Nick. He was from what is now Turkey. He is also the patron saint of children and also known as the protector of sailors. So
this was a great quiz. I think we got all the questions right. Let's all take it home.
That
you
is
got them
the
all right
greatest
so
Christmas
far.
gift. Huh?
Well,
That was just the preface.
That was
okay?
a preamble?
Okay. All right. See you next week. Anyway, so where does the name Santa Claus come from that we know nowadays? This is multiple choice. Is it A, was it a newspaper article published in 1773? Was it from Washington Irving? Or was it from the Coca-Cola Company? Who came up with
the newspaper article?
The newspaper article? Yay! How'd you know that?
Because I think Santa Claus is actually not English. It's like Sinterklaas or something like that.
That's exactly right.
So all the other ones felt very English. So I was like, the newspaper article.
Right.
That's not English necessarily.
No, I agree. I think it's Dutch Sinterklaas, right?
Yeah, Sinterklaas.
Yeah.
Boy, I didn't know I had a room full of Santa experts here. That's okay.
I just want to point out for the record, Merwin got the yay, not the just we'll see how this continues, but so far it's exactly as we expected.
Yeah, he's 1 yay to 0 ass right now. Okay. Instead of a sleigh drawn by reindeer, the Dutch version of St. Nicholas rode what? Did he ride a bear? Did he ride a donkey? Or did he ride a moose? Bear, donkey, or moose?
Good question.
I'm going to go bear. I'm going to go moose.
Donkey!
Yeah. He rode a donkey.
So Merwin is 2 yays to my 2 strikes. All right, got it.
Yes.
I also got to say the word donkey.
Yeah.
It makes it a
donkey.
wonderful day.
Well, I mean, you can say anything you want, Merwin. It's almost Christmas. So the tradition is kids would fill their shoes with straw, right, to feed the donkey. Instead of like nowadays, they leave out cookies and milk for Santa.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, the Dutch kids would leave straw in their shoes.
What's the shoes focus here? Because it's there's also the what is it, British custom or French custom, where you put your shoes out and there's a small gift waiting for you in the next morning.
Yeah.
What's the shoes? I don't get.
I don't know.
Very similar to the stocking.
Well,
it's not all that different.
I mean, and this actually,
stocking. Gotcha. All right.
my stocking, not stalking, right? This is actually, this next question has a little bit to do with shoes. Okay, who invented the idea of Santa using chimneys to deliver his presents?
The chimney sweeps.
Was it Clement Clark Moore, the author of The Visit from St. Nicholas? Was it Thomas Nast, the cartoonist who made all of those wonderful illustrations? Or was it the writer Washington Irving? Which of those came up with the idea of Santa going down a chimney?
Zach is nodding sagely.
I wanted to say Nast, but then you said Washington Irving, and I don't know what to say.
Okay.
Nest.
Oh, that was so useful on my part because I was totally going to go there.
So nasty of you.
Yes.
I would have gone with that too, Zach.
Thank you.
Okay, what's your answer, Merwin?
That's not fair. I would have totally gotten that buzzer. I just threw Zach out to generate friendly fire.
That's very sweet. So
The answer is Washington Irving.
all right. So we'll give that to Alain then.
Yeah. It was 12 years before Moore's poem. But just a couple more questions out of the quiz here. What element of the Santa mythology did Clement Clark Moore invent for his poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas? Got to pull the music back up. There we go. That adds a lot.
Is this open, or do you multiple choice?
No, this is multiple choice. Okay. Did he come up with the idea of using a sleigh drawn by reindeer? Did he come up with the exclamation ho ho ho? Or did he come up with the iconic red outfit in his poem?
I don't think it's the outfit.
No, it's not the
No,
outfit.
I think the opposite is Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Yeah. So what would it be?
Okay, I'll take a guess with the ho ho ho.
And Merwin gets his first buzzer.
Wow,
of the day.
that's amazing. So we're going to go with the sleighs.
Yeah.
And Zach gets his first yay.
He came up with the idea of using a sleigh drawn by reindeer. And this is where the shoes come in, because he also changed the idea of shoes to stockings. He came up with stockings.
They're more flexible.
They hung their stockings. Nobody had talked about that before.
It's a lot harder to hang your shoes. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. Here's a science problem. Everybody get out your slide rules. You ready?
got it? All right.
Okay. Assuming 2.5 children per household and that they are all good, Santa has to visit 2.5 billion children and make 842 million stops in one night. How fast does his sleigh go? Is it 1,280 miles per second? Is it 1,367 miles per second? Or is it 186,000 miles per second?
Is Alain conducting?
Excellent.
That's outstanding.
Does that mean it would be the slowest or the fastest if he
Ooh, here we
was
go.
conducting?
Lively. It would be a lively tempo.
Yeah.
A lively tempo. Okay.
quite.
What? And I'll just give you a clue. One of these is the speed of Santa's sleigh. The others are the speed of electrons or the speed of light. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm going to go with B.
you're gonna go with B? No, it's not B. That's the speed of electrons. 1,367 miles per second.
I'm going to go with C.
C is the speed of light. 186,000 miles per second.
I'm going to go with A, Brad.
Amazing. I always knew that you were good at math, Elaine.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So this is assuming that Santa only spends 1,000th of a second per stop. So that's all the time he has to get down the chimney and drink the milk and cookies and leave the presents, right?
You're
Okay.
a real Grinch, you know?
I am a Grinch. Totally. Okay, let's finish up the quiz here with... I've got so many good questions, it's hard to tell where I want to go next. Okay. We did mention Coca-Cola, which is famous for their longtime campaign, which features Santa. They helped to create the modern image of Santa. One year, however, they caused a scandal with one of their pictures. What was the scandal? Santa was not wearing his hat, Santa was not wearing his wedding ring, or, instead of Coke, he was actually drinking milk. Which one of those three caused a scandal?
That's not a scandal. Wes.
I would say the hat.
No. Not
I'll go
that.
with the wedding ring.
Yeah. They depicted him without his wedding ring, and they got all kinds of letters asking what happened to Mrs. Claus. Right? Wanted to know what was going on. Speaking of Mrs. Claus, she didn't appear until the mid-1800s. Can you tell me what her first name was? This is the original version of Mrs. Claus. Was it
Mildred.
Jessica? Was it Mary? Get it? Like Merry Christmas? Or was it Gertrude?
I think it's
Gertrude.
Carol Bell.
Okay, buzzer for Merwin. Yay for Zach.
It was
It
no
was
time.
Gertrude.
I was saying Mildred, but Gertrude. That's exactly
Gertrude,
It. Yeah.
back in 1849, her first
Old
appearance.
Gertie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just two more quick questions. The phrase "ho ho ho" is used by Santa, the Jolly Green Giant, and Jabba the Hutt. In the classic 1970s stop-motion cartoon Santa Claus is Coming to Town, who taught Santa to laugh like that? Was it the penguins, was it the seals, or was it the reindeer? Penguins, seals, or
I'm
reindeer?
gonna say seals.
Yeah, you know your...
1970s stop motion. That's Zach all the way.
I do actually.
Exactly. The seals taught him how to do that. So here's the last question, which I found to be really interesting. Which country banned Santa impersonators from using the phrase ho 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 for fear that it would scare the kids. Which of these countries actually banned them from saying ho, ho, ho? Was it New Zealand? Was it Australia? Or was it Brazil? Any takers? It was actually Australia in 2009.
They were too busy celebrating the winter onion.
2009?
Yeah, in 2009, they told Santa impersonators in order to be licensed, they couldn't say ho, ho, ho. They had to say ha, ha, ha instead.
I thought that'd say ho, 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 mate.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how you can't sing happy birthday in a restaurant anymore. Is it some licensing issue?
I don't know what it is, but I do know that some of the Santa Corps actually quit over it because they thought it was really important to be able to say ho, ho, ho. I just want to also say that it was really weird to hear Elaine doing sort of an Australian accent with a French accent at the same time. That was cool. Yeah.
Oh, I tried.
That was a great, a great.
Wow, how you doing over there, Elmer?
I'm doing all right.
Like Dave Chappelle says, I get paid for the attempt.
Exactly. Well, let's mention the concert again. It is 3 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. It is streaming at stream.artstoledo.com. Christmas at the Peristyle. All these Christmas favorites that you mentioned, Merwin, that are being performed on the concert. It's also going to be available on the archive afterwards. If folks want to watch it there, they can do that as well at their leisure leading up to the holidays. Again, that is at stream.artstoledo.com. This program is a production of WGTE Public Media in collaboration with our sponsor, the Toledo Symphony, with generous support from the Rita Barber Kern Foundation. You can download episodes of our program as a podcast by going to our website at wgte.org/lab. You can also subscribe to us through your podcast app of choice, including Apple and Google Podcasts. And remember, you can check out all the upcoming events at the Symphony by visiting their website at toledosymphony.com and their various social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can find the TSO's streaming concerts again online at stream.artstoledo.com. My thanks to Zach Vassar, Merwin Sue, and Elaine Trudell. I'm Brad Cresswell. You've been listening to Toledo Symphony Lab from FM 91.